Now, regarding day number 29 on this shutdown, this is House New Mexico Democrat Melanie Ann Stansberry brawling with Jake Tapper over the shutdown. Number 48.
Think that they can use the hunger of children to try to leverage Democrats rather than feeding 42 million Americans, and we're not going to stand for it. We're going to sue them. We're going to use the courts. We're going to use Congress, and we're going to do everything we can at the community level to make sure that Americans can put food on the table this weekend.
Should the Democratic,
and we're not going to stand for it.
Should the Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Oops.
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding their tactics.
By the White House.
Well,
this is a choice by the White House.
This
they
is
are
also,
choosing
Congresswoman,
to cut
this is also a
food
choice
assistance.
by Senate Democrats
No,
to not
it is
vote
not.
to open the government. Yes, it is. I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want Medicaid funds restored. They're doing it because they want Obamacare premiums to be extended past the end of the year. I understand the reasoning.
Sir, let me just be clear. The money for contingency plans is sitting there. That is why the states are suing. The White House is withholding funds from
2 to 3 weeks worth
to
of SNAP funds.
Food.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it may not be a big deal to you, but let me tell you that for the grandparents, for grandparents that literally are feeding their children.
So even Jake Tapper was not buying the BS. Why don't your senators from New Mexico vote to end the shutdown? And you notice she said that the money for SNAP is there. The White House is just not spending it. What did the Agriculture Secretary say about that allegation, that the money is there, the dastardly Trump White House is just choosing not to spend it? Now, I just now mentioned that Jake Tapper sparred with this New Mexico Democrat over whose fault it was that the government is shut down. Another CNN host sparred with a Democrat senator over the very same issue, number 49.
So I think my question is this. I mean, I take your point about these millions of people. The cost of living is incredibly high, but also Republicans control the White House, they control the Senate, they control the House. And in the past, Democrats, when Republicans have tried to do something like this, Democrats have argued that the norms of our government should be that you negotiate policy outside of a government shutdown. I mean, I have over many years covering Washington, people have said that over and over and over again. And now I have neighbors in the D.C. area who are both employed by the federal government who are having to use food banks. We are heading into Thanksgiving. Why is it suddenly right to do it this way and to do it for this long when it didn't used to be the right way in Democrats' view?
Oh, that's an easy answer. It's Donald Trump. You're talking about norms in the time of Donald Trump. It's also normal not for you to tear down the East Wing. But Democrats have spent so much time arguing about how maintaining those norms is actually incredibly important in the face of Donald Trump. It's all out the window. It's all out the window, Casey. No, when you're doing the time of Donald Trump, this is the man that is like extorting people. He's literally breaking every rules. We're not going to go back and play by the norms when we know that what's on the line. What's on the line is 24 million people are going to have their insurance rates premiums doubled. That's a new thing, by the way. And the fact is the president and everyone expects us to play by these old norms.
Didn't Democrats kind of set that up in the bill that you passed, though, that these subsidies were going to expire?
When we passed the bills and back in the day as part of the Inflation Reduction Act, of course, we were trying to maybe hope for the best that this country and our Republican colleagues would understand that raising insurance rates on people is a bad thing. I'm sorry they don't see it that way, but it's also not my job to make their job easier. My job is to make sure that the premiums of 24 million Americans does not double overnight. And if it makes it harder on the Republicans, that we're putting them in a very difficult position, that they have to answer for that, and hopefully it actually comes with a good outcome, which is Americans not having to pay higher premiums, then that's good. But I'm not going to abide by old norms, especially when you're dealing with this presidency, this administration, and how the Republicans themselves have been acting.
Now, I hope you appreciate how extraordinary that exchange was. First of all, this senator did not expect her to push back like that. Because historically, you go on CNN, you can say whatever ridiculous thing you want. There'd be no pushback. Jake Tapper pushed back. She pushed back. Not just because it is true the Democrats are shutting down the government, which of course is the case. But they're afraid they may lose their jobs. Why? Larry Ellison just bought CBS. He's a conservative who donated a lot of money to Donald Trump. Reportedly, he's also considering buying CNN, or at least his son is, same pocket. And these guys, Jake Tapper and that host Casey Hunt, are afraid that if and when CNN is sold and they are perceived to be left-wing and biased, they could lose their very, very lucrative jobs. So they are scared to death. And so all of a sudden you're finding a whole lot of people now beginning to argue the other side and beginning to say things like, well, isn't it the case that you guys have always opposed a government shutdown? I remember when Trump first became president, they're in the Oval Office and Schumer's there, and Trump said, well, I'd take a shutdown. And Schumer was over the moon that Trump had said that, because historically, if you are blamed for a shutdown, your party gets punished. The Democrats have always opposed a shutdown. But now, well, the reason for it is because of Trump. Trump has broken all the norms. Well, if Trump has broken all the norms, isn't it your job to enforce the norms? Well, yeah, but Trump. It's hysterical.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.